And here we have a nice northern Minnesota sunfish. And these are the kind of fish that people are telling us that they'd like to see more of in our lakes. So one way that we've been able to maintain quality in our bluegill populations is through the use of reduced bag limits. So traditionally we've had about 60 lakes in the state that have had reduced sunfish limits, either 5 or 10 fish limits. And as the popularity of these fisheries have grown, we're starting to look at ways to expand that program. So starting in 2020 and 2021, people will be hearing about the Quality Bluegill Initiative. And basically, it's a stakeholder-driven program that's looking to increase the use of these special regulation lakes, because we're hearing from more and more of our stakeholders, everyday anglers, resort owners, our fishing guides, our fishing celebrities, that they'd like more opportunities for large bluegill. So we're looking to expand the use of both 5 and 10 fish bag limits on lakes that have biological potential to grow large bluegill, but they also have to have a strong social interest. We're not going to ram these regulations onto lakes where it's not going to be socially popular, but when there are interested stakeholder groups and there's good potential to grow large bluegill, hey, it makes sense to go with some of these regulations, or at least ask the public a question to see what they think about it. To begin the process of the Quality Bluegill Initiative, we asked our various area fisheries office to look at their biological data. A lot of our lakes in Minnesota are surveyed on a 5 to 10 year rotation, so we've actually got some really good data sets at this point that go back oftentimes 40 or 50 years, so we can see what kind of fish are in our lakes and how those populations have changed over time. By drilling down into that data, we were able to identify somewhere between 100 and 150 lakes that we think would positively benefit from a reduced bag limit at this point in time. So our next step is to go ahead and talk to the public and see if these lakes have the social interest in special regulations. So people might wonder, why are we focusing on a reduced bag limit? And the reason is because there's a good track history there. We've actually tried regulations on about 60 of these lakes in Minnesota, and what we found is that lakes with a 10 fish limit have generally maintained size quality. When we go to a 5 fish limit, we've actually seen an improvement in size quality. In fact, average length has increased by almost an inch, and we see an increase in average age, which means that our fish are staying in the lake longer and having the opportunity to grow larger. So as we move forward through the process, what's going to happen, we'll actually come up with a list of lakes that are being considered for these special regulations. We'll post information at the access point so that anglers are aware that these lakes are being considered. We're going to hold public input meetings because we really want to get the public's opinion on these regulations. A regulation only works if people support it. But we really feel that through the use of reduced bag limits, we can definitely maintain our high quality bluegill fisheries and maybe even improve some of those that have slipped over the years. And it's going to benefit anglers, especially those that really value catching large sunfish.